Alabama is not in the playoffs. We'll see you later.
Roll Tide off a cliff.
They did not deserve to make the playoffs, and I just want to ask anyone here if they feel differently. Otherwise, this can just be like 11 minutes of, 5 to 11 minutes of just shitting on Alabama, which I'm cool with, any direction. A lot of people were upset. A lot of Bama people were upset. We posted
Nick Saban was upset.
We posted a couple TikToks, got millions of views, and a lot of Bama fans, probably reached like a third of the Bama fans, the one that know how to access the internet. And they were not very happy with what we were saying about Bama missing the playoffs. They said they deserved it. They said, hey, I know we lost to 6-6 Vanderbilt. I know we lost to 6-6 Oklahoma. But hey, our name's Bama, so give us a shot over the teams that deserved it. That was mostly the argument. And it didn't work, though. The committee didn't buy it. They put SMU in at the last spot. So, Mario, you're a longtime SEC guy. Did you feel like they were snubbed? Did you feel like they even deserve to be ranked above these teams like South Carolina and them?
No. I said it last week. I said there's no chance they'll get ranked. And, I was right.
You were right. That was... Great call.
The days of the Alabama bias, I feel like, are beyond us now because Saint Nick Saban is no
Satan
longer...
or Saint?
Saint Nick.
I couldn't hear from over here.
Saint Nick, Satan Nick,
It's either way.
if you're on the
Saint
wrong
Nick.
side of,
Just making sure.
the wrong side of a lot of those matchups, which LSU was. But anyways, this team had no business.
No business.
No business being in this playoff. I actually genuinely don't know the argument that these people even tried to make. Like, you got blown out by Oklahoma.
Strength of wins. It was because they beat Georgia and they beat South Carolina, and then they have Missouri artificially held ranked, that was the big thing they were trying to do all season, was keep Missouri somehow sneakily between 21 and 23
because no one would notice.
to keep Bama having a ranked win there. Yeah, so that was the argument.
Yeah, but that's a fake argument.
Fake news.
Fake news.
No, fake news.
Radical left Bama fans.
Yeah, exactly. No, they played Georgia at home kind of early in the season. When
Fourth game.
It's like, I think if they played, like last week, I think Georgia rolls them. You know what I mean? So it's like this Bama team.
Oklahoma rolled them.
Yeah, exactly.
So we know,
No, exactly. It's for me. It's like, how are you looking now? At least the last couple weeks, and they have not looked convincing. I mean, we saw them get blown out by Oklahoma. Obviously, lost to Vanderbilt. They beat South Carolina, but it was a tough game.
Yeah, 2-point game.
This team just didn't look convincing to me. And, like Tyler said before in another video, like, if you don't have 10 wins, then you better be playing in a conference championship. They weren't. So there's absolutely no reason they should have even been in the conversation, and they weren't. So,
Mike?
Yep. I said it preseason. I'll say it continuously until Kalen DeBoer gets fired.
Can't throw a mill.
That's
I
crazy.
think he is absolutely awful. He does not fit this job. He is not qualified for this position. He had a really good coaching record in the Pac-12 conference that was not focused on defense and did not require the inept adaptations in game.
Quick question on that.
Yo.
What happened when the Pac-12 team that DeBoer beat twice went to the Big Ten?
Big Ten ain't the SEC.
I just want to know. They won,
As of
right?
late,
Oregon won. Oregon won from the Pac-12. And then who won the Big 12 this year? Another Pac-12 team. So 2 Pac-12 teams after it disbanded won other conferences. But he doesn't qualify for winning it?
I think maybe it's unique to him. Maybe it's unique to Kalen DeBoer not being able to adapt in game. I think the best example of that was against Oklahoma. He didn't utilize his extremely talented running back room. He wasn't able to change his offense in a way that could adapt to the pressure that Venables was sending at him.
He should have at least hopped in the pocket, complete a few passes just to get the offense going.
Get your ass behind centers.
Hey,
the way Milroe was throwing that ball was horrendous.
There's definitely some blame to be putting on the guys on the field, but you also got to just help him out. I think he lacks that ability to do so. I think he not only lacks the ability to do so in that one game example, but throughout the season, he wasn't able to formulate a defense that was comparable to any type of high-level football. I think this guy is just... Yeah, I think they
scored a lot of points, though.
Yeah, they took a massive advantage in the first half.
They went into Death Valley and killed LSU, one of the hottest team in college football at the time.
Yeah, okay.
I mean,
42-13.
it's kind of a broken LSU team. They got them on the bad half.
How do we just get to
bad half of
choose
the season?
when
No,
teams
that's-
are...
It's not choosing.
Texas fans.
No, it's not choosing. This is coming from most people with common sense. Is that LSU is
There
not
it is.
the. I mean, they're not. They're just
Most
not
people
the
with
power.
common sense. Ryan's not like
Ryan
most
wouldn't
people,
know that.
unfortunately.
South Carolina week 3 was not a f***ing good team. Week 8,
I
they're one of the
agree
best
with
teams
you.
in the country. So LSU week 6, one of the best teams in the country. Just because now they aren't as good and maybe something happened doesn't mean at the time they weren't unbelievable.
They did play LSU. I think it was week 10. But yeah, I also LSU was at the time top 15 team in the country. So it wasn't common sense that LSU wasn't a top team at that time.
There was also a lot of there's a lot of fluctuation in standings at that time.
There was a little
what I'm
fluff.
saying?
Little
There was-
fluff.
yeah,
All
there
right,
was a little
continue.
fluff.
So
you're,
DeBoer fired.
I want to let Ryan talk. So you're just saying it's DeBoer, he's trash, he can't adjust.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think DeBoer is qualified for this position. I don't think it's Alabama. I think their roster is amazing. I think they have all the skill necessary. I think DeBoer and his coaching staff are not suited for this team.
Okay, quick, before I
can't
move
do
to
it.
Ryan, just give me a name. I don't need an explanation. What is a coach you think is qualified for this position instead of him? Just one name. And then I'll
You
move
can't
to
say
Ryan.
there's a head coach.
Can I say it? Coach that isn't likely to ever
Just
move
anyone.
over?
Anyone.
I would say Brett Venables would do an unbelievable job in Bama.
All right. Ryan.
Were you not asking for Brett Venables to get fired 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, he was, but I don't want to.
No,
talk
okay,
about
I'm
it.
sorry,
I'm sorry.
I don't want to talk about it. No, I don't want to talk about it.
Sorry.
He's also
Oklahoma.
never been a head coach. He'd only been a defensive coordinator. He'd been a head coach for 2 seasons. Mike
I mean,
Esther
I
didn't get
also
fired.
think Kurt Signetti would do a great job
But,
over there, too.
I don't
I
want
mean,
to
I
talk
can
about
give
that.
you a list of guys. You
No,
want me to give you a list? I'll give
Why are
you
you
a list.
asking me? I said one name. We'll move
I'll
on.
give you a list.
Mike, release
No
the
list.
list.
I'll give a list.
Do not
No,
release
do
the
not
list.
have
release
a
this
list.
list.
No,
Mike
he
has
has
he
a
has a
list.
list. He admitted it. He has a long
I have a
list.
Bad
list.
list.
It's a long
No, you
list.
saw Jay-Z go down. You don't want Mike to release
Yeah, we
that
have the
list.
Mike list.
It's a competitive list.
It's a blacklist.
What?
Jesus Christ.
Go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, this is tough for me. I maybe the way the bracket's formulated, Bama doesn't deserve to get in. But I would, if I was just picking 12 best teams to go into the college football playoff to win a natty, I think we were talking about betting Bama or sprinkling it. I think it was like 2 weeks ago. I think they are one of the best 12 teams, and they could beat anyone. And that's kind of what you want with this new format. I think you want to put people in. They're going to put on a show and could win 4 straight games and go crazy. Maybe because the way it was made, yeah, you're keeping SMU in. They did an amazing year. There's no way you're putting Bama over SMU. They don't deserve it. But like, is Bama one of the best 12 teams? I really do think so. I think they showed it in big games. Even when they lost to Tennessee, they had a great game. They lost by 1 touchdown in Tennessee, which was a tough game. You know what I mean? Like, I think they're one of the best 12 teams. I really do think that.
Yeah.
And I do not think DeBoer take is just
Yeah,
crazy.
It's crazy. I mean, the
I
amount
don't
of
think it's crazy, but give it a year.
Well,
I think it's too
yeah,
early.
okay.
It's too early
I mean,
to be like,
when
I like to be a prophet.
a lot of coaches come in the first year. I
you're
mean,
the prophet.
let's also not pretend that this team that DeBoer has is the same team that Saban had last year.
Yeah.
Graduated
one of the worst Bama teams I've seen in
Graduated
10
a
years.
lot of players, had a lot transfer away. Also brought in a lot of new talent. They were playing freshmen at a lot of skill positions. Obviously wide receiver. Yeah. So I don't. I don't think he was. A lot of people were like he was. The Ryan Day comment that Jim Harbaugh made, where it's you start on third base. Like don't be stand on third base and think you hit a triple.
No.
Like I don't think this was standing on third base. It was
standing on,
definitely
like,
standing on like second base.
Yeah, it wasn't that.
And he didn't really move it forward very much.
No, this was. I'm not messing.
And he
with
got
the
thrown out at home, Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
He
This
didn't
is the
get
worst Bama team I've seen in 10 years. Just on both sides of the
100%.
Yeah, because of the coach.
It was the first time they lost. No, it's not. Well, I mean, downgrading from Saban to anyone is a downgrade.
That's true.
But
But even this is a lot of the same players from like last year, and Saban really
not
couldn't
really.
get like
it's
much
really,
out of these players.
It's really not a whole lot of the same players.
They
not
had
a
a
whole lot,
lot
but
of
I'm saying,
transfers.
It's not.
No, but I'm saying my point is like
I'd
last
say-
year you saw the decline in the players last year, and this is like the remains of last year with a bunch of like incoming freshmen and stuff. So like obviously,
How was there a decline though? They won SEC championship and made it to
Went to overtime.
Really
overtime
quick,
with the
against
number-
Michigan.
Really
that
quick,
won it.
I mean, similarly with Nick Saban though, it's like any coach that isn't Nick Saban is gonna be a downgrade, right? In the same way, this Bama team, yes, their like class and their roster isn't Nick Saban's like caliber of roster. It is still much better than most teams in like nationally.
That's
ranked.
why they're
If we're
they're
going-
better than
that's
most
why
teams.
Ryan's
But-
saying they're a top 12.
Yeah.
team.
They are.
My
But
argument.
I didn't get to my point where I was wanting to say, I don't think it's DeBoer's fault. I think you have to give a new coach, especially someone who moves from Washington to Alabama, at least a couple years to get in the swing of things. It's just nuts to think he can just come in and be fantastic. It just never happens anywhere.
Go ahead.
Yeah, just to finish,
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, this playoffs, I mentioned this in our last video, but it's not about picking the 12 best teams. If it was, I think South Carolina is a better team right now than Alabama. If you're saying, oh, it's based on, record and head-to-head and standings, then if you're going off that, then they don't deserve to get in because they have 3 losses. But if you're just taking the best teams, South Carolina is better than Bama. I don't want you to go back to that and say, oh, they played head-to-head. Then you're getting back into the record thing where neither of the 2 teams should get in the first place. But if you're just picking the best teams, South Carolina's right now is better than Alabama. I honestly, and I'm biased a little towards the ACC, but I know Miami's wins aren't very good. If we're going to be honest, neither are quite a few teams in the college football playoffs if we're going to keep it real. Indiana hasn't beat a ranked team. Texas hasn't beat a ranked team. You can go across the list. SMU hasn't beat a ranked team. Boise State have beat ranked teams, but it's UNLV twice, same ranked team. You can talk about a lot of these guys who haven't beat ranked teams and are in the playoffs. Miami, was in the top 6 all season long pretty much, won 10 games. There are 2 losses to a Georgia Tech team that took Georgia to 8 overtimes, and then to a ranked Syracuse on the road. So, as far as losses go, Miami being ranked below Bama when Bama has much worse losses to 2 6-6 teams.
I think it was just the games in the individual.
No, I
games.
understand. I'm not arguing for Miami to be in, but they were just immediately discarded and thrown out after losing to a ranked Syracuse on the road, and Bama was able to get blown out 24-3.
I think the wins
team.
Alabama has propels them ahead of Miami.
Also, the thing you're saying about the bias, I was literally before the game started on the bowl games, it said Bama an 81% chance to make the playoffs, SMU with a loss and 19%. That's crazy.
On ESPN.
On ESPN. Yeah. They were hand feeding everyone watching, get this in your head so you're not mad about it when it happens. And then thank God it didn't happen.
That's another kind of discussion in itself. Is these ESPN predictor percentages they're so
horrendous.
They're all horseshit.
That's why you just gotta look at the betting odds.
Yeah,
the betting odds tell you.
I agree.
Second after SMU lost to Clemson, SMU was minus 500 to make the playoffs. And Bama went to plus a bunch from even money. Yeah. As soon as it was a 3-point loss and it booked the final, they were all right, they're in.
No, that makes sense.
So, but yeah, Bama.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for playing.
Bye-bye.
End of a dynasty. Enjoy. End of something because first 3 win or less than 10 win season in a while. First 3 loss season in the regular season we've had for a long time. So it feels good for Clemson to be in the playoffs and Bama not. We kicked you guys out again. Congratulations. Welcome back. We love playing with you. Thanks for playing. We own you. And let us know what you think in the comments. Drop a follow. Drop a subscribe.
Maybe next year.
Maybe next year. Good luck,
Maybe
guys.
not.
Get the boar out.